right now with the economy where it is in 2023, I'm starting to see some clients pull back a little bit because some of their cash flow is getting a little bit tight. Orders are taking longer. People aren't moving as fast as they should. And this is why it's really important, no matter who you are, no matter what business you're in, merging ecosystems so you could create more opportunities. And as we talk about that, we're going to get into 5 key points to master branding and marketing in your business in some of the most non-conventional ways, because that's going to separate you from everybody else. You don't want to do what everybody else is doing in the business that you're in, so you want to be able to show that, hey, I could provide more value to the client or the customer than my competitors. And the only way you could do that is if you do what they are not doing. As a business owner, it is real important to understand branding and marketing. I mean, I can't express enough what that means. And listen, you may have to hire somebody to do it. If you don't have the money, get on social media, get on YouTube, go to YouTube University, and every night for 3 hours, start putting in the time and effort to figure that out and watch what they do. But there is 5 things I want to talk about today to really kind of take you through that process. And the first thing would be to really establish a strong brand identity. As you build out that strong brand identity, let's talk about it from the standpoint of what everybody else does, because that's where we want to start. It involves in creating a unique name. So check us out, we're Epic. You know, the name sounds really good, but what does Epic actually stand for? Empower, protect, integrate, coordinate. So think about that. It's not just Epic, but it is cool, but it's really about what Epic stands for. And that's to be able to bring all the forces together, the financial educators in your world for your benefit, so you can make good, sound decisions based on logic, math, and science, not emotional timidity. Tying into the name, you want to make sure the logo, the slogan, the color scheme can easily be recognized and remembered by your target audience. So listen, this also comes down to being able to control every single day the narrative in your little circle when it comes to what you put out there in your messaging and social media. You know, when I first started doing this over 3 years ago, it felt like I was running east looking for a sunset. It felt like I was on a treadmill. You know, I would be like, oh my God, why am I going to do a video today? No one even likes it or no one even says anything. And my views were so minimal at that point. But then every once in a while, somebody that didn't put a like or didn't put a comment in, they would see me outside and say, hey, I really like what you're doing. And it was that little window, that little snap of hope that kept me going. And then I began to realize that it really came down to people really liked me and what I was saying, because I was bringing a level of honesty based on my own experience, strength, and hope, and trying to let somebody out there know that it's okay to feel the way you feel. So remember, when you're talking about your name, what is the name of your brand? That brand has to have a deeper meaning of a why, and if that why makes you cry, you're going to put yourself in a position to make sure that you succeed in all parts of what you're trying to accomplish. And a strong brand identity helps create a sense of trust and reliability, not only with your customers, because they'll become raving fans, but also it increases the level of loyalty, because if you're going to match and exceed what they want you to do, they're going to become raving fans. And once they're raving fans, they're going to refer to you as much business as possible because they know that you actually care. So number 2 is defining your target market. Now, you know, that's not an easy thing to do, which I understand. So you want to be able to create those avatars. You want to be able to look at some of your best experiences with that clients that you had, what you took to get them to where you are, where they actually became a client, and then rinse and repeat who they are. If you could really become clear on that in whatever niche you have, then you're going to be able to set yourself apart. For us here at Epic, one of the things that we do is, you know, you'll deal in the financial planning space and someone might say, hey, in order to work with us, you need at least $500,000 or $1 million. Well, what separates us, yes, we'll have those conversations, but listen, I grew up blue collar. I grew up where money ran out the 20th of every month. I grew up where everything was always a disappointment when it was all said and done. I got used to the feeling that money was just like dirty and only rich people had it, and rich people were bad, and you know, they didn't care about us, they didn't like us. That's how I felt coming up. But here's the truth, we will help anybody as long as they're looking for education, proper planning, and they want to be able to be family oriented in their approach. That is different than a specific niche. But for someone that has a niche, I have partners that are peak performance coaches, attorneys, folks that really situate when it comes to private equity. There's a niche there as well. Remember, who's your target audience? What is it that you could do to kind of speak their language and then take 10 of you, what's going to separate you from the other 10? And that's by gaining leverage through rapport building with integrity. And if you could do that, you're going to create raving fans along the way. Number 3, utilizing multiple marketing channels. What is that? Well, TikTok is one, Facebook's another. Remember, you could have TikTok, Facebook as an individual as well as a business, so that's 4 if you really think about it. You have LinkedIn, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have YouTube, right? And by the way, you also have Snapchat. One of my clients and major influencer on Instagram and TikTok said, listen, you got to get with Snapchat. There's a place there for business owners, believe it or not. I was like, wow, that's incredible, because I see my 3 kids using Snapchat all the time. I was on a plane with one of my partners, and they did this little picture where it made me look like I was 90 years old. That's what Snapchat is, but also it's a place where you can build your business if your message is pure and it's in line with your heart and you're serving others. What's the key to the multiple channels, though? You have to have a daily message. I would shoot videos that tie and sit and fit with your core values tied to your product or your service. If you do that and you're honest and you really bring forth a daily effort and you provide information, guidance, and value that nobody else is, and yes, there is a level of understanding how to click this and how to click that and what funnel just to get them to the front door. We have gone from 8 to 3,000 leads by doing this process, and we make sure that every lead we come across, they get the VIP treatment for the ones that pick up the phone and we have our conversations. There's no obligation at all to do business with us, but if you're a lead, we're going to give you the VIP treatment and take you through our success process. And oh, by the way, go ahead and click that link below if you want one of the team members here at Epic to take you through that success process. And keep in mind, there could be videos you want me to do. I'll do them if you put it out there. And don't be scared to really give some comments and some feedback on what you see, what you like, and what you don't like. And at the end of the day, if you're looking to go on a financial freedom map, a place where you could see where you are today and where you want to go, there's also a link down there for the financial freedom app. That is powerful, that is free, and that'll give you the navigation you need, whether it's a sunny day, whether it's night or a fog or a storm. That navigation system will put money back in your pocket where it belongs. So number 4 would be to provide consistent and valuable content. What does that mean? Well, if I'm going to do a 30-minute YouTube video on just what I'm doing right now, watch. I'm giving you value, right? I'm telling you about my own experience, strength, and hope. I'm going to tell you from 2015 to 2017, I spent $1.8 million before I even started doing social media. But it was to establish really good relationships. And these relationships, let's call it relationship capital, being around people that have been there, done that, where I could stand on their shoulders and really take that next step forward based on the mistakes they made, and them giving me trade secrets because they're my coach. So that's a podcast, right? So if I'm going to do 30 minutes and I'm going to interview Parker, who does my social media, and do a 30-minute interview with Parker, or no different than the content I'm giving you right now, we can now, and they're not going to like this, we could take this 30 minutes or 20 minutes and chop it up into smaller videos. And the smaller videos are going to be sprinkled into TikTok, sprinkled into Instagram with messaging, with links, and go ahead and click that. And now all of a sudden, because my face pops up, I know it's not the best face in the world, but it's also not the worst. It pops up on a daily basis. At some point, you'll be like, you know what? Let me click the link, because I got this guy. Everywhere I go, I see what he's saying. So now all of a sudden, if I'm hitting all the different platforms, if my message is consistent, because consistency makes the champion, at some point someone's going to click, and then someone's going to say yes. That is the American dream. That is how you use social media, provided you have the people behind you that can take on that lead. Because listen, I go on YouTube and I see people talk about becoming your own bank, and they may even sound better than me, but guess what? They don't want to work with you unless you have a certain amount of money. We work with everybody. That's the difference. So we execute on the backside better than what this video actually looks like on the front side. Last but not least would be measuring and adjusting your marketing strategy. This is important because what happens is, as you go along, you want to test what works and what doesn't work, and don't force what doesn't work. But always remember, if you're going to play the game of social media and all the different platforms, it's important that you understand something. It's not going to be overnight. Now, a friend of mine, Dolph DeRoos, he has been around for over 30 years. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing a live webinar together on June 29th, 2023 at 8 p.m. on the east side, 5 p.m. on the west side. He is such a legend that when he started doing his YouTube videos, his new brand video about a year and a half ago, he went from 0 in the last 18 months to 100,000 subscribers. That's because he was already a known commodity. But if you're not known, just like me, as I do this video, we have 7,000 subscribers. It took us 2 years to get to this point. The last year, it's gone from basically 1,300 to 7,000. It's starting to move a little bit faster. But you need to understand how to do a podcast. You need to understand how to do shorts. You need to understand that these platforms need to communicate with each other because each platform has a different person that's going to see your video. And if you have a level of congruence that's tied back to your website and you have a team like Parker, like Frankie, like Kevin that are behind the scenes, including Danny, now all of a sudden what's going to happen is you're going to be so congruent that people like Bill Spadia come and want to be partners with you. People like Sean Callaghy, Chris Crone, Tax Hive, people like David Meltzer, Randy Garn, and you don't stop. Take that and rewind it back. That's what's been happening on this side of the street. Like I said, go ahead and click that link below. If you want to spend some time with myself or one of the team members at Epic, fill out the information. They will sit down with you and take you through all the success process that we've seen with business owners, individuals, corporate executives, family-oriented people, so you could create generational wealth, you could become your own bank, you could get multiple uses of each and every dollar, and you could say, if it is to be, it's up to me. I am not going to live in the space of scarce money mindset, yet I am going to live in an abundant mindset and understand that money is a tool for me to be able to help make the world a better place one person at a time.